She said, "Ugh, your family is so weird. I'm not going to Christmas." After meeting my parents once. I said, "No problem." What she found under our tree on Christmas morning made her realize weird runs in the family. The gift tag that made her call her lawyer. I 29 male, guess I should have seen the red flags when Veronica 27 first met my family. We'd been dating for about 8 months, and I was excited to introduce her to my parents at their annual fall barbecue. My family is unconventional. Dad 58 is a retired theater tech who builds elaborate Halloween displays year-round in our garage. Mom 56 collects vintage medical equipment and has turned their basement into what she calls her Museum of Peculiar Medicine. My sister Dottie 31 is a professional balloon artist who speaks exclusively in rhymes on Tuesdays. Yeah, we're weird. But we're also the most loving, supportive family I know. Veronica lasted exactly 73 minutes at the barbecue. She spent most of it on her phone, occasionally looking up to give forced smiles when Mom excitedly showed her the authentic 1920s stomach pump she'd just acquired. When Dad tried to demonstrate his new animatronic werewolf, she actually recoiled. The car ride home was silent until we hit the highway. "Your family is so weird," she finally said, wrinkling her nose. "Like uncomfortably weird. Your mom collects medical torture devices. Your dad is a grown man playing with Halloween decorations. And your sister? Is she okay mentally?" I gripped the steering wheel tighter. "They're just passionate about their interests." "Passionate?" She laughed, but it wasn't kind. "Try embarrassing. Thank God none of my friends were there. Can you imagine if someone from the firm saw me there?" The firm. Always the firm. Veronica worked as a junior associate at a corporate law firm and acted like she was already partner. "They're my family," I said quietly. "Well, they're not normal. I'm definitely not going to Christmas if it's anything like today. Actually, I'm not going to any family events. It's too much." I nodded. "Okay." She seemed surprised by my easy acceptance, but quickly moved on to talking about her coworker's new Hermes bag. Update 1. Things have been interesting since the barbecue incident. Veronica's made it abundantly clear she wants nothing to do with my family. Some highlights. She refers to them as those people when they come up in conversation. She asked me not to display any family photos in our apartment because what if someone sees them? When Mom called to invite us to help with Christmas decorations, Veronica grabbed the phone and said he's busy with normal people things. Before hanging up, but here's where it gets good. Last week, Veronica was going through my mail, without asking naturally, and found a letter from my family's estate lawyer. Nothing major, just annual tax stuff. But she saw the letterhead. Grimsby and Associates, Estate Planning and Wealth Management. Suddenly, she was very interested in my weird family. "I didn't know your parents had estate lawyers," she said casually over dinner. "Doesn't everyone?" I kept eating my pasta. "Well, I mean, significant estates maybe. Your parents don't seem." She paused, choosing her words. "They live so modestly. They live how they want to live." She spent the next 3 days pumping me for information about my family's finances. Did they own property? Investments? Was there inheritance potential? I gray-rocked hard, giving nothing but vague responses. Then came December 10th. Mom called to confirm Christmas plans. "Just checking if you and Veronica will be staying overnight Christmas Eve. Dad's planning something special for Christmas morning." Veronica was listening on speaker. Without my permission, she'd grabbed the phone and hit the button. "Actually, Mrs. T, I have family obligations of my own," Veronica said sweetly. Her family lived 10 minutes away, and she'd already told me they weren't doing anything special. "Oh, that's too bad, dear." "Well, we have a tradition of putting presents under the tree for everyone, even if they can't make it. Consider yourself family." After Mom hung up, Veronica was thoughtful. "What kind of presents does your family usually give?" "Oh, weird stuff." I smiled. She hasn't stopped talking about what might be under that tree. Update 2. I need to document everything while it's fresh because Veronica is currently blowing up my phone with increasingly unhinged messages, and her lawyer friend is apparently now involved. So, Christmas Eve, I went to my parents' house alone, as planned. Had an amazing time. Dad unveiled his new project, a full-scale replica of the alien xenomorph that moves via hidden sensors. Mom made her famous anatomically correct gingerbread people, and Dottie performed an entirely rhyming rendition of A Christmas Carol. Before I left Christmas morning, Mom handed me a wrapped box. "For Veronica," she said with her usual warm smile, even though she couldn't make it. I'll admit I was curious what they'd gotten her. Got back to our apartment around 2 p.m. Veronica was waiting, dressed up like she was expecting something significant. "How was your family thing?" she asked, eyes already scanning for packages. "Great, actually. Oh, Mom sent something for you." I handed her the box. She practically ripped it open. Inside was a ceramic frog. Not just any ceramic frog, one of those kitschy ones from the 70s that holds a kitchen sponge. The kind you'd find at a yard sale for $3. Her face fell. Then she saw the gift tag, written in Mom's careful handwriting, "To Veronica. Since you couldn't join us, here's a little something from the family collection." This particular piece, number 47 of 51 in the series, reminded us that not everyone appreciates the unusual. But that's what makes the world interesting. "Merry Christmas, the Weird Tea family." She stared at it. A frog. A ceramic frog. "Yeah, Mom collects them too. Did I not mention that?" But something was bothering her about the tag. She kept reading it over and over. Number 47 of 51? She pulled out her phone, furiously Googling. Her face went white. Turns out that particular worthless ceramic frog was made by Gorham Studios in 1971. Due to a manufacturing error, only 51 were made before the line was discontinued. They're now worth about $2,800 each to collectors. Mom owns 47 of them. "Your mom collects these?" Her voice was strange. Among other things, the wheels were turning. I could see her doing mental math. 47 frogs at $2,800 each. But here's the kicker. That wasn't even the real gift. The real gift was in the bottom of the box. Another note. "P.S. We've set up a trust fund for our future grandchildren. Any offspring of our children will receive $50,000 on their 18th birthday for college. We believe in investing in family, even the weird ones." Details with Grimsby and Associates. Veronica's hands shook. 50,000 per child? "Yeah, they've been saving since Dottie and I were kids. Said they wanted to make sure any grandkids could pursue whatever weird passions they wanted without worry." She was already on her phone, texting furiously. Within an hour, she'd contacted a lawyer friend about posthumous inheritance rights for unmarried partners and common law implications. That's when I dropped the final bomb. "Oh, by the way, I'm moving out. Already signed a lease for January 1st. "What? You said my family was too weird. You called them embarrassing. You refused to spend Christmas with them because they weren't normal enough for your image. So I'm making it easy for you. You don't have to deal with them anymore." But we've been together almost a year. You can't just leave." "Why not? You made it clear you wanted nothing to do with the people who raised me, who love me unconditionally despite my own weirdness. Did you think I'd choose someone who calls my mom embarrassing over the woman who supported my dream of becoming a teacher, even though it doesn't pay well?" The text started within minutes of me leaving. "We need to talk about this rationally. You're overreacting. I didn't mean those things how they sounded. Your family seems lovely, actually. Can we at least discuss the financial implications? I'm calling a lawyer. You can't just abandon me after I invested a year. I deserve compensation." Update 3. Buckle up, because Veronica went full psycho. December 27th, she showed up at my parents' house. Showed up. The woman who couldn't bear to spend 2 hours with them suddenly appeared at their door with a gift basket and her best fake smile. Dad called me immediately. Son? Veronica's here. She's being very friendly, suspiciously friendly. She's asking to see my workshop and complimenting the werewolf." I drove over immediately. Found her in the basement, gushing over Mom's medical collection, taking photos of everything. "Oh my God, babe." She ran over like we weren't broken up. "Your mom was just showing me this authentic iron lung. Did you know these can go for $25,000 at medical antique auctions?" Mom, bless her, was completely oblivious to the agenda. "Oh, I'd never sell Mr. Wheezy. He's family." I pulled Veronica aside. "What are you doing here?" "Visiting my future in-laws. I realized I was being judgmental before. Your family is eclectic, collectors, invested in historical preservation. We broke up 3 days ago. You were emotional. It's Christmas. We all say things we don't mean. Dad wandered over. Veronica was just asking about estate planning. Seemed very interested in our insurance policies too. The mask slipped for just a second before she recovered. Just making conversation. I work at a law firm. These things interest me. I escorted her out. She left, but not before taking more photos and grabbing a business card from the estate lawyer's stack on the hall table. December 28th. I woke up to 73 missed calls. Not from Veronica, from random numbers. Turns out she'd posted in some kind of high-value women Facebook group about how her millionaire boyfriend's family was keeping her from her rightful place and asking for advice on securing the bag. The post went semi-viral in those circles. I know because my cousin sent me screenshots. Veronica had included photos of my parents' house, the collections, even a sneaky shot of some financial documents she'd photographed. The comments were insane. Sue him for emotional damages. You invested a year. That's basically common law. Get pregnant, ASAP. Break into the house and take something valuable as collateral. That last one apparently inspired her. December 29th, 4 a.m. My parents' security system went off. The cameras, Dad installed them for his Halloween displays, caught everything. Veronica, dressed in all black like a dollar store ninja, trying to jimmy open the garage window. She'd brought a friend, another woman from her firm who apparently thought B&E was a reasonable career move. They managed to get the window open before the motion-activated werewolf roared to life, complete with glowing eyes and smoke machine. The friend screamed and fell backward into Mom's heritage tomato garden. Veronica tried to push through anyway, only to come face to face with Dad's newest creation, a 7-foot-tall Krampus that sprays fake snow when triggered. The police arrived to find them covered in potting soil and artificial snow, frantically trying to explain they were just retrieving personal items. What personal items? The officer asked. I left them here. During a visit. Ma'am, the homeowners say you've only been here twice, and you didn't bring anything. Mom, watching from the doorway in her anatomically correct organ print pajamas, added helpfully, Oh, we did give her a ceramic frog, but that was a gift. Veronica spent the night in jail. Her firm found out. The friend was fired immediately. Veronica was encouraged to resign by December 30th. Final update. It's been a wild week, but I wanted to give you all closure on this insane situation. After getting out on bail, Veronica tried one last play. She actually filed a civil suit claiming intentional infliction of emotional distress, promissory estoppel, apparently I promised her a future with my family's wealth, unjust enrichment, because she invested time in our relationship, defamation, for the security footage that her own actions created. Her lawyer, not from her former firm obviously, but some ambulance chaser she found on a bus bench ad, sent a demand letter for $100,000. Here's where it gets beautiful. Remember Grimsby & Associates, my family's estate lawyers? Yeah, they don't just do estate planning. They have a whole litigation department. And they love my parents. Have been working with them for 20 years. Mr. Grimsby himself called Veronica's discount lawyer. I don't know exactly what was said, but I do know. The security footage was crystal clear. Breaking and entering is a felony. Her Facebook posts constituted conspiracy to commit fraud. Her friend was willing to testify against her for immunity. The state bar was very interested in a lawyer advising clients to break into homes. The civil suit was dropped within 48 hours, but the criminal charges, those stuck. Veronica pled guilty to attempted breaking and entering, criminal trespass, and conspiracy. She got 18 months probation, 200 hours of community service, and has to pay restitution for Mom's tomato garden. The best part? Her community service assignment is at the local children's museum, specifically in their weird science department, teaching kids about unusual collections and eclectic hobbies. My family has fully embraced the whole situation. Dad's already planning a Home Alone but make it goth security display for next Halloween. Mom started collecting vintage law books in honor of our little legal adventure. And Dottie? She wrote an entire rhyming ballad about it that she performs at open mic nights. As for me, I'm happily single, living in my new apartment and bringing my lunch to school in Tupperware, my mom labeled with medically accurate diagrams of the digestive system. Because yeah, my family is weird. But they're also generous, kind, creative, and fiercely protective of each other. And if someone can't see past the ceramic frogs and animatronic monsters to the absolutely amazing people underneath, well, that's their loss. Worth about $131,900 in ceramic frogs, to be exact. But who's counting? P.S. Mom's already planning next year's Christmas gift for whatever partner I bring home next. She's thinking vintage dental tools. To help them understand that love sometimes requires extracting yourself from toxic situations. God, I love my weird family.